Welcome to In the Kitchen with Diana. Today we're making sourdough English muffins.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Gonna taste good, I know.
Well, welcome back to another sourdough series. Tonight, I'm going to show you how to start English muffins so you can make them fresh for breakfast in the morning. This is one of my favorite recipes just because the dough is so easy and you let it set on your counter overnight and then you actually fry them in the morning. And to have a hot English muffin for breakfast is delicious. So let's get started. The first thing that you're going to need is a cup of milk. No water this time, just milk, and this is just whole milk, cold. It doesn't even have to be warm. I am using a mixer just because it's easier to knead the dough for 5 minutes and be done and then let it set on your counter all night. So after that, we just need 100 grams of starter. And I've made this, I have a little more than 100 grams in here. I took I think 25 grams of my starter and then added 50 grams of water and 50 grams of flour. And I just did this morning like at 11 o'clock, I think. And it's ready to go. So I'm just going to add it all in because that's what it's there for. And 15 grams, I mean, it's such a pittance. It's like the size of a quarter. So I'm just going to dump it in. All right, we got that. We also need about a tablespoon of honey. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it. If you go over, it's fine. And a teaspoon of salt. Now I will put all the directions in the description below, as always. And I'll put cups and grams just to make it easier. All right, I have my tub of organic all-purpose flour. And this one does use all-purpose flour. I'm gonna give this a zhuzh here. Let's see if we can mix up the sourdough starter in the milk just a little bit. It wants to stick on the middle. Once we get some flour in here, it'll get all mixed in real nice. All right, and 3 cups of flour. So when I'm doing my flour, I'm gonna fluff it and then just really gently scoop it into your measuring cup. Don't pack it. This is where, your measuring can get off. That's why the grams are so accurate, but this one is a little forgiving. So we got our 3 cups of flour. Move this out of the way. Pop the lid on. We're going to turn it on until it gets all mixed up. I'm going to stop it and scrape down my middle post just a little. I'm going to scrape it all together. And it looks a little ugly right now. Call it like ugly dough. We're going to put the lid on and I'm going to set the timer for an hour and it's going to sit and do its little fermentalize. And then we're going to come back and knead it. So just put the lid on, and if you have like a KitchenAid or, if you want to do this by hand, you can totally do this by hand as well. But I'm just going to put the lid on. I'm going to set the timer for an hour and we'll be back and we'll go on to the next step. Our dough has been sitting here for an hour and now we're going to knead it for 5 minutes. That's why I do it in the mixer because it's just super easy. You can turn it on and let it go. So 5 minutes, I'm going to set my timer and let it knead and then we'll go to the next step. See how easy that is? I just stick it in the mixer. All right, so that was kneaded for 5 minutes. I'm gonna just put it in a glass Pyrex bowl with a lid. Tupperware would work. And your dough is super soft. I'm just gonna plop it in there. Put the lid on. And it is gonna sit on our counter till morning. Your house usually is between 65 and 70 degrees. And it's gonna ferment and do all of its goodies, and then we'll get them cooked and we'll have hot English muffins for breakfast. You're gonna wanna stick around to watch this because it is so delicious. So I will see you in the morning. Well, good morning, welcome back. We're gonna peek at our dough that's been sitting on our counter all night. It's risen, it's beautiful. So we're gonna get these shaped and on a cookie sheet. If you watched my last video, or a couple videos ago, you saw I had a vacuum sealer and I put cornmeal and stuff in these jars and, well, it just let go of its seal. So we're gonna get a sheet pan out and we're gonna sprinkle about a 1/4 cup of cornmeal on it. That just helps the English muffins not stick because we're gonna form them. Just kind of sprinkle some around. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can dump this dough out and use a biscuit cutter, like a 3-inch cookie cutter. I've tried that way, and it's kind of sticky and kind of a mess. And the other way is to form it into balls and then squish them. And I found that is my favorite way. So I'm gonna show you how to do that today. Just wiggle it out. It is a stiffer dough, but it's not like your sourdough bread. It's all floofy and pillowy, although this is definitely pillowy. This is how you get all those good nooks and crannies. All right, so I am just gonna gently, actually I'm gonna weigh it. We'll see what we're up against, and then I'm gonna divide it. This recipe makes about 10 English muffins. Let's see how much we have here. So like 800. I'm not mathing this morning. We're just gonna like,
if you get 8 100s, that'd be lovely.
Well, 100 is a huge one, I think. About 80, I think that's about right. So I do want 10. So mine are weighing in around 80 grams. I know that one's too big. Still too big. You go from too big to not enough. Wow, that was right on the money. Do I have 10 there? See, it all works out in the end. All right, and then I'm gonna just make them into balls. So I kind of scoop some flour. Make it into a nice tight ball. Like that. Then I just squish it down. It's much easier, at least I think, than you want to squish it down to about 1 inch thick. And we're just gonna set it on the cookie sheet. You kind of do this when you work with the big sourdough loaves. So just make a nice ball again. And then I just take my 3 fingers and I kind of push it around and then grab it with my thumb. Make a nice tight ball and then just squish it down again. All right, so lather, rinse, repeat times 10. Now, if I didn't talk about inclusions on here, so if you want to make like cinnamon raisin or blueberry, you want to add those when you're actually mixing the dough. So I'd use dried blueberries, the dehydrated ones, and then just add cinnamon and raisins the last part of after you let it set for your hour, right before you knead it. Because those make it really delicious. All right, so we've got them setting here. Yeah, we'll squish them out again, but they'll be fine. Just gonna put a tea towel, a clean tea towel on these. We're gonna let them set here and proof for about 1 hour, and then we will get them cooked off. Let's lather some butter and jam on them. And then we'll be back. So our English muffins have had a chance to sit here and rise, and they've gotten just a little poofy. And so we're gonna go over to the stove top. We're gonna cook them on low, and you kind of want a bigger skillet If you don't have like a nonstick bigger skillet, like an electric skillet, something with a lid or something that you can make a lid out of, you'll want to get that ready. So let's head over to the stove and we'll get these baked or cooked off. I guess you don't bake them, you fry them of all things. So let's go do that. So I've got my burner on about medium, and we're gonna cook them on low because you wanna cook them low and slow to make sure that the inside gets done, because there's nothing worse than a doughy inside of an English muffin. So I'm just waiting for that to get warm. If you don't let it get warm, it's kind of like making crepes, like you kind of throw the first one out, but I don't want to throw any of my English muffins out. We want them.
Do you want the laser to measure the pan?
Yeah, I would like to know. See, we're only at like 230 degrees.
What do you want it at?
Well, at least 300, I think.
Do you?
Yeah. So our skillet we're gonna cook them for 4 minutes aside. So I'm gonna get our first batch in here. I'm gonna flatten them out just a little more before we put them in. Now that they've warmed up, they kind of hold their shape a little better. Kind of dust off some of the cornmeal that we put on there and just set them in there. All right, so put the lid on and we're gonna I'm gonna just use my timer on my watch here. We're gonna go 4 minutes. So set a new timer here. I don't have one for 4 minutes.
Oh, she got the jam and butter out.
I need a plate too.
Oh boy. Ooh, it's getting steamy in there.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there's our first 4 minutes. Let's see how they look. Oh, they smell good.
Yeah.
Ah!
Whoopsie. Pretty blonde, maybe.
They are a little blonde. Let's move it more over my heat. Okay, let's set it for four more minutes on this side. And we're looking for a 200-degree internal temperature. So I'm going to temp these when this side is done just to make sure that they're good. I might flip them over. Like I said, the first batch, it takes a little minute for your skillet to get hot. So we just wait and be patient. All right, let's see how these are looking here. They're nice and poofy. Oh, see, look at that. I'm going to flip them over.
Oh, yeah.
See if I can get them just a little brown. On the other side, I'm going to grab.
They have really poofed.
I know, right? So you really want to make sure you flatten them out.
Yeah.
Let's probe them, see where we're at. I'm going to put them back on this side. They're at 193. I really want to get them to 200. Let's cook them for another minute or so now that I know my skillet's hot. Get them brown on the other side. I hate to say they look store-bought, but...
Well, honestly, I think of all the sourdough things that you've made, these are the easiest to make look store-bought. Because you just can't mess it up. It's like so good.
Yeah, they are so good. I'm going to flatten these out. I mean, you see how much they poof. And you don't even need an oven to make these. You just need your stovetop, which is super fun. Let's see how they are. Has that been a minute? I didn't set my timer. There, that's a little brown now. It's a tiny bit. Let's see what they are doing. Okay, they're still gonna hang out in there. Let's give them.
So what are they reading now?
Like 190. I don't want them doughy. No bueno.
So it's just kind of low and slow. And
it is low and slow. Low and slow and steady wins the race on these. And yeah, I could turn up my fire, but...
You just make the outside brown and not get the inside done.
Yep. There we go. I'm happy with that. So I just probed them again with my thermometer, and they're at over 200. So I'm just going to set them on this cooling rack and in with the next batch. It really does take that long to get the skillet hot. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, those are much different.
Mm-hmm. It really takes that long to get the skillet just right.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Okay.
Beautiful. Gosh, those look so good. I'm so excited we get to eat these.
Okay, 4 more minutes. Boop. Okay, here we go. All right, here's our last batch. Woo! Steamy.
Holy moly.
I'm going to check them for their doneness. Oh, boom. Excellent.
That is lovely.
Isn't that lovely? All right, so make sure you've got your butter and some jam or peanut butter, whatever you want to stick on them. Got some homemade strawberry jam. I'm going to take one of the ones that has cooled off just a little because they're so hot. And you really can fork prick them. And this is what I do. I just go all the way around with the fork. Was it just like the Thomas ones? Sometimes I still have to cut through. And I'll do this on all of them. And then I wrap them up individually in like saran wrap or plastic wrap or what, Stretch Tight from Costco. And then stick them in a Ziploc bag and pop them in the freezer. And then we just eat on them. But I mean, here we go. Look at all those beautiful nooks and crannies and yum. Do another one for you?
Yes, please. Cameraman gets one. Part of my service fee.
That's right. Pay the tax. Dun, 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 dun.
Gorgeous.
You can see, I'm going to show you on this one. Yum. This one could have baked a little or cooked a little longer. But, I mean, you can toast them. They're so fresh. They're so delicious. I don't know that it matters. All right. Let's get some butter on these. Wow. Whoa.
I think
somebody heard something. There's a whole strawberry in this jam. You smell it, don't you, Denver? All right, that looks about the right ratio. So good. It doesn't get any better, really, in my opinion. Yum. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to make some sourdough English muffins. They're really not hard. And there are multiple steps, but you can make a couple batches of these and throw them in the freezer. Like I said, you could pre-make a whole bunch of breakfast sandwiches with egg and cheese and ham on them and freeze those. Or, make a sandwich out of these for lunch. I mean, it's kind of limitless what you want to do with the English muffin. You can pop them open and make little pizzas out of them. But it's just really nice to have some homemade sourdough English muffins in your freezer, ready to go for all the recipes that you can make with them. And having them homemade, they are much more nutritious than the ones you're getting from the store. So thanks for joining me in my kitchen today. I hope you guys try these out. I hope you're enjoying this sourdough sessions that I'm doing so that you can learn more about sourdough and what to do with all your sourdough starter. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you on the next episode.
All right, well, we're ready. Let's do something here before my arms fall off.
Yeah, for sure.
That is rolling.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Indeed. Somebody needs a little snack.
A little snack.
Bloopers.
Here. Here's a snack. Oh,
he missed it.
He missed. Let's try again. Let me see if I can cut some, though.
Okay, you ready? Gotta sit.
You sit. Sit. There you go.
Whoa, that was nice.
Gonna taste good, I know.